Okay, flutes. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to actually put our flute together here and try to figure out where our fingers go and stuff. So, in order to put the flute together, what you do is you grab the middle body of your flute, right here where there's no keys, and your head joint, and you put them together nice and straight and you twist like that. All right, so one thing to make sure you do is make sure you don't push it in all the way. Only have about that much sticking out so that your flute's in tune. Now the hole that you blow through should be lined up with your keys. Okay, so you can see that the hole and my keys are all on top like that. Okay. And then finally you take your foot joint. I grab it where there's not a lot of keys. And I grab my flute here where there's not, and I put it together, twisting as well. Now never crank it like this, because that will bend this whole rim around here, and eventually it'll just be really loose. Now you twist it together. Now it's important to make sure that you have the post of the flute lined up with these keys. You don't want to have the keys and the keys like that. You're going to have it twisted so that when you hold it, your pinky can reach down here. Okay, so if it was all lined up flat across here like that, then your pinky you'd have to be like playing like that. So you actually see how it's lined up. You're going to actually turn it so that this post is going through the center of the keys. Okay, so the number one most important thing when you're playing the flute is your left pointer finger, because the flute is going to sit on your left pointer finger. When you're holding it up, that's what holds up your flute. The side of your pointer finger right there. So take your flute in your right hand, left hand, do this, and you're gonna hold it like that. Okay, now, what you wanna do is, you see how there's one key right there? You want it to be sitting kind of right where that one key is. And then you're gonna curl your finger like this, and you're gonna push down that key, that second key there. So notice my finger is curled. You can see there's space in between. So I'm touching it there, and I'm touching it at the point of my finger, and I'm keeping a kind of a loop there. I can put my finger through there. That is the most hardest thing of flute, is being able to hold your flute like that. You gotta sit it there, wrap the finger around there, and push the second key. All right, then the next two fingers, we're gonna skip one key, and the next two fingers go there, and the pinky goes there. So you're gonna skip the first and the third keys. Now your thumb is gonna go on this key, not where there's two, just the one. So thumb there. Now notice I'm wrapping my finger around the flute there like that. Notice how I have it's kind of like a C. And then I put my two fingers there and there. So now you're holding your flute good when you can do it with just your left hand, because I'm keeping that space there. I'm wrapping that finger, that pointer finger around, and then holding that there. Okay, the other fingers don't touch the flute, but this one does. So now, flutes, that's going to be a little tricky to do. I mean, that'll take us a couple days to get used to how that's supposed to be. And that'll be something that I'm going to check on Zoom, or on Google Meets, sorry. You don't do Zoom. Okay, so try to test your ability to hold your flute like that. Okay, now, on your foot joint, the very last key of your foot joint is where your pinky's going to go. It's going to go on that key right there. Not these keys, that one right there. And if you get that one right, then the next three just kind of go right by it, and the thumb goes like that. So hopefully that this helps you. You can see the fingers. All right, now, because we're going to be playing off to the side of our body, we're going to need to be able to know how to push fingers down without looking. So what I want you to do is, this is our home position. Put your flute in your lap and don't touch it. Close your eyes and see once if you can find home position. Now, of course, some of you are going to have to stop and look and make sure that you have it right. That's going to happen for many of you. So our goal today is just to practice. Are we putting our fingers down in the right place? Right? No fingers. Boom, I got my fingers down. Now putting your flute up to your mouth is going to be a little tricky because now everything's got to go over here. Okay, so I actually have students kind of say the M and the P, and I kind of now that's going to be a little tricky to get a sound without pushing any fingers down. It doesn't sound as loud as with just this piece, but go ahead and try to see if you can make a sound like I just did. Then push your keys down. And then now we're going to get everything off to the right side. All right, so elbows got to go up, but we don't want them like this. We want them nice and relaxed. Look at my lip and the flute. My lip stays parallel with the flute. Now, in order to get the sound, you're going to have to really focus on looking at the mirror. Okay, so that's going to be a little tricky to do. All right, and if you have trouble getting that, you're normal. Please know that. This trying to get a sound on the first day with, you can push any keys you want down and see if you can get a sound. But it all goes back to this. Am I lining up and blowing across the hole correctly? Can I find the keys without looking? Home position. Okay. So one other thing to make sure when you're playing is you want your shoulders nice and relaxed, comfortable. When you put the flute up to you, you don't want to be like that. You just want to be nice and relaxed and comfortable. And hold your flute at about an angle like I'm holding it. You don't have to hold it straight. Or we don't want it like this. The one thing we also don't want is to try to hold up our flute with our shoulder. If you're holding up the flute with your shoulder, the chances are you are not doing that loop thing where you're using this part of your hand to hold the flute up. See, I'm kind of pushing the flute into my mouth. So if you walk by, that should stay. If you're not doing that, then you're doing this. I don't know if you can see, but I'm not wrapping it around there. I'm just pushing the keys down, and everything's going to want to fall. See that? That's why your wrist is going to be kind of underneath there like that. If your wrist isn't angled like that, your wrist is like this, then you're too loose. Get underneath the flute, wrap the finger. So, today the goal is to just see once if you can figure out where to put your fingers without looking. That's our #1 goal. Usually at school, I would put stickers on where to push. A lot of kids like to have stickers on their flute. If we actually get to school anytime soon, that'll be something we can do to help you remember where to put them. Okay, but the main thing is, again, keep that flute on that finger and wrap it around. And don't worry if you're not getting super great sound with holding your whole flute. Go back to this thing and line it up like that. Okay, so go ahead and try to practice just getting any old sound on day one. That's all we want to do is just kind of make sound on our instrument and practice holding it. So I hope that you guys have good luck with that. And if we have struggles, again, we'll be talking about Google Meets so that you can get some individual help with yourself. And a lot of you might probably need some individual help. Please know that. Okay? This isn't all going to happen in 2 days. All right? It's going to take a little bit of time, but you'll get it. I know you will. So now you're going to watch a video, I believe, on cleaning your instrument and putting it away. So go ahead and practice either now, playing a little bit, or watch the video. So we will see you tomorrow.